Hi, welcome back to part 2 of this discussion with Kasha Rae. If you're yet to catch part 1, then make sure you do click the card just above my head here. You can watch that video first. If not, let's dive right back into the discussion. When more diversity crops up into films and stuff, and people will say, "Oh, it's forced diversity. It's all forced." And then they go, with that there comes political agendas in films, and then I kind of think, well, the thing is that for me, any and every film is political because politics. It doesn't always have to be identity politics. Doesn't always have to be politics. But politics as a word, is within human nature and the way we interact.
Taking a subject and thinking about it, and talking about that.
Talking about it, finding the middle ground, all of it.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's just incredible.
So, I mean, what I think I take from that is there enough conversations going on in Hollywood? Is there enough portrayal of the real world?
Sure.
And I suppose the short answer to that is no, but it's Hollywood. No. I suppose you could argue, do we want to sit down and watch each other? I suppose, we do. Look at reality TV.
Well, right, exactly.
We are literally watching. I remember Big Brother used to have the night cams on.
Oh,
people would go to sleep watching Big Brother go to sleep. Yeah. That's a crazy.
Oh yeah, because you had the main program on Channel 4, but you go to E4, you could watch it
just streaming. Do you know what I mean? People just scratching themselves.
Them doing absolutely nothing.
The one I find most strange is when Gogglebox. When I watch Gogglebox, I'm watching television of people watching television, and as entertaining it is, you've got to look at it from a standpoint of, well, okay, is this what we're doing now? You know, am I gonna watch you watch TV and find that entertaining?
Well, this is it, but you know what? And if we go back to your point of learning about each other, and in one of my latest videos, I talk about how the arts will teach us about about each other. Yeah. Because particularly here in the UK, I can only ever speak for the UK on this, but we don't learn about other people in our history. We learn about main historical figures, main historical events, but we don't. I think you must have to go further than that with history to learn more and deeper and interesting things. So then you got to turn to the arts. You got to turn to films and TV, and reality TV,
and to find those portrayals and to find those stories. I mean, what I think as a viewer, you have to ask yourself the question: what are you looking for? What are you trying to take from what you're watching? If you're trying to take inspiration or finding, characters that you resonate with, you're gonna find a difficult task in doing that. If you're just trying to pass some time and be entertained for a moment, there's a plethora, of stuff that you can dive into. So you have to ask yourself, what are you asking for as the viewer? And there's lots of choice at the end of the day. I don't think we can sit here and say there's not enough of this being done, there's not enough of that being done. There can always be more of anything. Sure. And the fact that some of the boundaries are now starting to get pushed, I think we're going in the right direction.
Yes, we definitely are. Yeah.
But is there enough to satisfy the different preferences of all different audiences? I'd say so. Is everyday life being represented properly? Probably not. But is that what we want? I suppose you've got to ask yourself: is that what we want?
I mean, the only way that film and TV work is that it's got to be a heightened version of everything. Yeah. Otherwise, whereas, it means there's got to be conflict and resolution and so on and so forth. And okay, so then what I try to do with this segment then is we talk about there from a fan perspective and how we're watching. But for us two, we're also on the inside of that. Me as an actor and yourself as a rapper, and it's like, how do we then view it from that side? So particularly maybe from your side in music. Yeah. Obviously it's slightly different to film and TV, but you'll have a more unique perspective on how that's rolling on the outside.
Okay, so from a music standpoint, music and television obviously they go hand in hand. Yeah. I'd love to write a movie score, so would most rappers and so would most musicians. What the movie's about, however, would be very, very important as to whether or not I could write that score.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
In the sense that If the movie is about, I don't know, the life and times of David Guetta, I probably am not going to be best placed to make the movie soundtrack for the life of times of David Guetta, although I would love to have a hand in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whenever you look at music and movies and whatever, it's got to be appropriate. It's got to fit with the narratives and so on and so forth. Overall music in general right now, I'd like to see more of a balance.
Okay.
There is way too much of one thing and not enough of the other.
Right.
And that I suppose can be said for film in some respects as well. And I think it's just about balance now. I think moving forward, 2020 onwards, we should look to have a balance of things available.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned earlier that, is there enough to cater for all the preferences of different audiences? Yes, there is, but do they know everything that's available? And if they did know everything that's available, would they choose some differing
stuff? Yeah, sure.
And it's the same with music right now. I find that, we're given one style, I suppose, one narrative, one story, and everyone is buying that at the moment, and everyone is perpetuating that over and over and over and over again. Where's the other story?
Yeah.
Where's the other narrative? We're not all the same.
Yeah, definitely.
We have different stories to tell. So why is everyone saying the same thing?
Yeah, again, then another reason why I open this segment, because it gives people a chance to come in and talk about their stuff. The first one, my friend Christian came on to talk about his YouTube channel, which was just a very unique thing. He's a black dancer reacting to K-pop music videos. Yeah, that's where do you find that? You don't. Yeah. So we need to find the channels open up. So with that in mind, you had an EP drop recently, The Warning, which
I did.
I've listened to on repeat for a good 3 weeks now.
My man.
Tell us a bit about how you got to there.
Okay, yeah. So I suppose I'll plug myself a little bit. I've been around for a long time, guys. If you go online and just check the history on Kasha Rae, then you'll find it.
There's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel, Kasha Rae.
I'll put all the links to everything in the description box.
Appreciate you. And the Google search does you good with my name as well, because there is a lot to find out. So the long and short of it is, working on that project there was something I wanted to do in this day and age, quite simply because, as I said, we have too much of one and not enough of the other.
Fine. Yeah.
Anyone that knows anything about my career watching this would know that I took somewhat of a hiatus. I took some time out to, grow as a human and have a family and find success in other avenues. So writing this, or coming back into the industry after such a long hiatus, it would have been all too easy for me to pop back up as an auto-tune rapper, looking like and sounding like everyone else and everything else that's out there, just simply because I know that's what works. That's the way music is going. I have more of an identity than that, and I don't fit into any crowd wherever you put me. So would I just want to come along and mingle? No. Yeah. So that's what this record is about. It's about me being antisocial, completely antisocial, in terms of what I'm giving the listener. If you just want what everyone else is giving you, then step to the left. There's a stall over there where you can pick up tons of it. Yeah. If you want something unique that is rare in this day and age to now, then here you go. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's that one-time uniqueness that I wanted to get. There is no auto-tune on there. There is not so much as 120 BPM. There's no 808 bass lines. It's all raw, organic, real live instruments played, raw vocalization. Just ideas that at peak can come from that spark of creativity. None of it is based on what I think you want to hear, or what I think you will think is cool, or none of it's based on any of that. What it's based on is true thought process and true feeling that occur to me at the time, that spill out in those creative sparks. And that's what I wanted to do on purpose in this day and age, because quite simply, there's not enough of it now.
Yeah, sure. I think that's amplified definitely in the track Fake Ones as well. And in particular, I've said to you over text, but particularly your story about the young rapper that came into the studio.
Yeah. He's an interesting one because obviously we work with a lot of youngsters and we help develop a lot of artists. I think you, as an older artist or an artist that's been in this for so long, I think that's what we should be always doing, is helping develop the younger generation that are coming up behind us. So I find myself in a lot of studio sessions just helping people write records and find their sound. So with that, you get a lot of youngsters and they come in and they have an idea on what they want to do and what artist they want to be. And that particular story just stood out to me quite simply because the person that came into the studio presented the idea of basically being a completely different person for the purposes of being a rap entity. So they were really ultimately planning on playing a character. Up until the point that character became, a reality, I suppose. Sure. And on the track you find me just quickly telling them the consequences of that, of what the consequences of that could be in playing such a character. Because we live in a world where people don't want to take that for face value. Then they will come and find out whether or not you are the gangster you say you are, and if you're not, then you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. So as much as that's a snapshot story, true story by the way, that's happening in lots of studios everywhere all over the world. And what we're finding now is people are more willing to play a character. What we're finding is people are actually finding more success in just playing a character with a gimmick than being an authentic and organic artist. I pride myself on just being exactly that, an authentic and organic artist. So to release the warning in this current atmosphere, that's the statement I'm making. Quite clearly.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, where can people find it to listen to?
So all streaming platforms, anywhere that you listen to your music, you can find it, mate. Apple, Spotify. Even though they are not the only streaming platforms available, there are many others to choose from. But you can find it on any digital store, and my Twitter handles and all that stuff. Twitter handles, and everything else.
Flash them up.
Get them on the finger. Hopefully they're going with my finger. There we go. There we go. But so the Warning EP, it is out now on my label, A Grade Music Group.
Cool, brilliant, man.
Thank you, sir.
Brilliant. All right, I think that pretty much wraps this up. It's been great.
Thank you for having me, brother. I've enjoyed it.
No.
So if I rambled on at you guys a little bit, as you can see, I've got a lot of opinions.
No, but I mean, this is why, and the same thing with Christian, this is why I'm bringing you guys on, because you have these opinions about things, and as you say, like, if the conversations aren't happening, what happens?
That's it. I think, can I summarise what I think I would love our viewers to take from this and the message I would like to bring today? Overall, there isn't enough diversity in film and television. That's a very quick answer. What can we do to change that? I think more young people should be given more access to being able to actually get into these professions. The reason why these professions are dominated by one particular cultural group is because that cultural group seems to have the most access to those roles and to the opportunities that are afforded for someone to get into that type of industry. I think if there was more opportunity afforded to more different demographics, then we would see more diversity, because systemically it would change from the root. And that's the message I think overall I would like to bring today, that it's about access.
Definitely agree with that. Cool, perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. So as you say, you can check Kasha Rae out on all his socials, Apple Music, Spotify, any streaming platform, wherever you usually listen to your music. Thank you very much for joining once again here on Hakuna MaChatter. Anything we've discussed, please let us know your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section down below. I'm open to all discussion. I can write back to your comments. I will be there. Do not worry about that. And I hope to see you here on a future video soon. Please make sure you like and subscribe as well. See you later. Hakuna MaChatter.
I was going to go, peace, in the end, but I thought, nah, let me not